usuals. Christian's here. Hi, John. Yung Julian AI nandito na rin.
What up, John, Christian, Julian? Wala si Emil dito. He is
Bakit?
toxic.
Oh.
Toxic!
Ayaw niya kasing gawin yung Kit Wilson eh. So the moment that we see Emil Nate again, sasabihan natin siya ng
You are toxic!
What up, Renato? Yeah, it is what it is. Saudi sila eh. Ganun talaga.
oh, tsaka inaantok tayo, inaantok din sila.
Sorry, I'm not. Wala na kami masyadong feelings about Brock Lesnar. So, okay lang. Okay lang eh. Sorry.
It is what it is. Si Julian AI, pinagtatawan niya yung magazine cover ni Emil Nate.
No, Emil is sick.
Oo.
Masyadong toxic yung buhay niya.
Hindi siya makapag-flu game. Wait, who called Andrade Andre?
Shivani,
Oh my God.
your favorite. What up, Ina? Andre El Idolo, he said.
Oh boy. Si Ina ba nabati na natin?
Yeah, natin siya.
I'm glad Sol Rucas made a fan out of you, Renato.
Yeah. Kaya sila nag-aaway niyan eh. Sorry eh.
May friend ako na nagbabalik loob tapos si Sol Ruca yung napansin niya nung Rumble.
Hey. Yeah, sometimes you just really need a minute. Yun yung actually, yun yung benefits of yung high flyers. Some of you dismiss as spot monkeys, but pag impressive talaga. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Please hit my music and yeet!
My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
What do we want to talk about?
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
You're still just a kid. Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
This is Lola Vice. I love you so much.
They love my Latina heat.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
You are CM Punk.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name.
Say his name and he appears.
Stan C, the voice of Philippine wrestling, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Romoran, the fancy daddy, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Chino Liao, Best Gout Machine, San Sebastian College Recoletos, College of St. Benilde, De La Salle University, International Academy of Film and Television.
Emil Nate, small forward, the Ateneo de Naga University.
When you're listening.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
On our Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. It's the OGs, Stancy and Romaran, checking in on another Thursday live stream. No Emil Nate, he's too sick to even pull a flu game. No Chino Liao, he is off. He's out for personal reasons, just like James Harden. Pero di namin siya tinrade, ah. Wala kaming Cleveland eh. So, wala kaming makukuha in return na Darius Garland. Yeah, but we have babyface producer Jasper here backstage, keeping us company, as well as all of you. So thank you for joining us wherever you're watching, dito sa Facebook page, dito sa YouTube channel. Really appreciate you being part of another Thursday live stream. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the podcast, hit that follow button. It does a lot for our algorithm on basically everything. So please hit that follow or subscribe button and leave a comment as well when you're on Spotify. Kind of like one of our listeners who asked us to do a Bullet Club retrospective. So it's actually on our list now, thanks to you. I just forget your name right now, pero thank you sa comment.
I forgot his name. I had his name. It's here.
Yeah.
It's here in our chat.
Oh.
Si Carlo Miguel, what up, man?
Ayun, si Carlo Miguel, maraming salamat. Dahil sa'yo, we're actually gonna do an actual Bullet Club retrospective. Sakto, nag-retire na rin naman si AJ Styles from WWE.
Once we confirm that for real. Like, I think AJ's about to get on Stephanie McMahon's podcast and clarify.
Wala pa tayong alam eh, di ba? Much like Jon Snow, we know nothing. Saying hi to Renato, watching us all the way from Negros.
Hey! Mga kabayan ng JDL.
Oh, what's up, Renato?
What's up, Renato?
Si TL Mac, pinapashout daw si Jenny. Jenny!
Jenny!
Para tayo nasa radyo eh. Thank you so much for joining us here on another Thursday. Let's get to some plugs before we get to wrestling talk for tonight. Yung Patreon natin still ongoing. Syempre, you can keep helping out the podcast however you can for as low as $5 or about 260 pesos a month. That's on ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod or patreon.com/wrestling podcast. Ang daming benefits. You get a guaranteed table pag may watch party or pag may event. You get to hang out sa Discord chat natin where ang dami nating tea na sinaserve doon. Along with yung mga wrestling stories na kinikwento namin ni Ro from our time in the industry. Among many other benefits, yung mga patrons nagtutulong-tulungan rin pag may kailangan tayo. Like, meron tayong customer service ng Meralco, meron tayong customer service ng Globe, meron tayong customer service ng BPI, marami. Daming benefits ng patron program na pati kami, di na namin na-provide. Pero yun, lahat yun nandun sa patreon.com/wrestling podcast or ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod. Wrote, let them know about the Converge Netflix bundle.
Yeah, guys, TNA is now available on Blast TV. Syempre, as you know, tawag dun, WWE is now available on Netflix. So all of that can be availed at a much easier way. Using the Converge Netflix bundle, which Emil Nate is subscribed to the highest tier for as low as $17.98 or around $1,900 with added fees. You get 300 Mbps. The Converge Experience box, which I believe, according to Captain Mike, may bagong box. There's also a Netflix basic subscription. If you go all the way up to 2298, there's a Netflix premium for better picture quality and more devices attached to it. So go check that out. You can watch all the wrestling and all the streaming platforms you want to watch with the Converge and Netflix bundle. Just go to your nearest Converge office or store. Go fiber.ph as well. By the way, I know some people here were not around no Monday live stream. Again, wanted to thank the people who came by nung Royal Rumble watch party at 3 o'clock in the morning last Sunday. So a lot of you were there. See, Dwight was there. Dwight Martin, who doesn't say hi to me, but he said he was there. You guys really made it an interesting event. Lakas nyo. But none as strong as the wait staff of Skinny Mike's, who was serving, was cooking, was busting tables all around from 3 in the morning to 7 in the morning. Starting na sila doon, but it's still amazing how they get to do it and how they're able to just keep working despite the ungodly hours. So, maraming salamat. We hope to not have to deal with that until, well, WrestleMania next year.
Unfortunately, merong balita na there are 2 more Saudi PLEs this year.
Yeah, pero alam mo yun, hindi yun obligatory sa atin masyado, you know?
As much as the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Yeah.
Diba?
But yeah, thanks again to our friends from Skinny Mike's.
You're the real MVP.
Yeah.
One last programming note before we get to the wrestling talk. Starting in March, meron tayong bagong time slot for our Thursday live stream. We're going to be pushing the live stream start time a little bit earlier, mga 30 minutes lang naman, 7:30 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. This is to accommodate Emil Nate kasi daylight savings time na by March and he does work the US schedule. So, hindi siya makakapag-prepare for work kung 8 p.m. na tayo magsisimula. So, mag-adjust tayo alang-alang kay Emil Nate. Nakakaya naman kasi. So, 7:30 p.m. for our live streams on Mondays and Thursdays starting this March. All right, let's get to some wrestling talk and start with some news from outside the ring. The departures keep on coming from many promotions. The biggest name of them all from this week, Hiromu Takahashi, has announced his departure from NJPW. So he also got the obligatory black and white lion mark. And this is kind of shocking, but also not shocking, if that makes sense.
He was already working as a freelancer. I know that I know NJPW is much more lax, obviously. So he was able to show up and know. I actually didn't know that he was still under contract. So medyo shocking to me that he was still under contract for him to leave, diba? So his last date will be the February 11th. That's Wednesday next week. The rumor, Inya, I think you mentioned that the rumor is that they and Evil will be going to WWE. I don't know if that's true. I only will comment on that once it happens. But yeah, I guess a lot of wrestlers weren't meant to spend, a lot of time with one company. Like not even your most ardent or most hardcore lifers in the WWE did not stay with WWE. So it is a thing. It is a thing that happens. So good luck to Hiromu wherever he lands. I think he'll be fine because he's still one of the most sought after junior heavyweights in the world.
Sabi rin niya na-inspire din siya ni Nakamura and Okada, both of whom left New Japan at the age of 36. And Hiromu is 36 this year. So sabi niya it was high time na rin that he explored and saw what was out there for himself. In other free agency news, Ava, a.k.a. Simone Johnson, the daughter of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, has announced her departure from WWE. So this past Tuesday was her last NXT. Di pala this past. Last week pala was her last episode of NXT. So she allowed her contract to expire and then she's left WWE. She's deactivated her social media. And I guess I'm happy that she was able to make herself a memorable character kahit papano as a GM, diba? Like, however you felt about Ava, the character, you knew who she was and you remembered her.
Yeah, I think it's clear now after the day after she left. Now, she left because of political reasons, for social political reasons. And I actually respect that all the more. Like, I know a lot of people didn't really like the Ava character, but, she was doing the least harm on NXT by not wrestling and just being a competent authority figure. She was written competently. So good on her. If she wanted to leave because she was shackled by the company's political affiliation, political leanings, then more power. She is the daughter of The Rock. After all, she will never run out of opportunities in the business should she still want to be in the business.
Mm-hmm. Eto, kaka-break lang. Literally moments ago, the Stephanie McMahon podcast with AJ Styles has dropped. So if you want to catch it, What's Your Stories on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your WWE podcasts. And my highlights that are literally being transcribed by people on the internet in real time. So Stephanie McMahon asked AJ Styles about the meaning behind him taking off his gloves and then putting them back on. And medyo non-answer yung sinabi ni AJ because he basically said hindi niya alam, never say never, and
No,
that
I
he
think-
believes everyone deserves to have at least one come out of retirement match.
I think what he's trying to say is if it is a real retirement, and I think he's making it out to be a real one, at least from WWE, he's not going to be like John Cena, who he's differentiating himself from John Cena, who said, "I don't know, like his body's not holding up." But AJ has, doesn't have Hollywood aspirations here. So he's saying that unlike Cena, he is still leaving himself room to come back whenever that day might be. And his kid naman is old enough naman. I mean, like,
Yeah, adult na yung oldest niya.
Yeah. So if his kid wants to join the business, then he won't have to wait that long, diba? It's not like bata pa yung anak niya. So yeah, I think it's a pretty definitive answer here. I don't know lang if he is going to go back and turn his back on WWE by showing up somewhere else. Maybe he's also covering those bases, but I think what he just really wanted to say was that he is retired, asterisk.
Sabi niya, what if my son wrestles? The opportunity to tag with him once, but to be like Rey and Dominic Mysterio or LeBron and Bronny.
Sure.
So, we'll see. We'll see kung anong kalalabasan ng yung for real retirement ni AJ Styles. Let's stay outside the ring and talk about Tommaso Ciampa. There's a new article that came out about him sa Yahoo Sports written by Cameron Hawkins, who you may remember from TheRinger.com. So he now writes for Yahoo Sports. And the main headline is Ciampa basically said it upsets him when people say he peaked in 2018. If you remember, this was when he was such a mega heel that he came out to no music and he dubbed the NXT Championship Goldie. And he was in a very bitter rivalry with Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, I guess if you're not washed, then you're not washed. But like Ciampa could still go. I think he's still in his early 40s.
No, he just turned 40.
Yeah, he just turned 40. I don't keep track of the ages. If he says that he's not washed and if he bristles against the idea of people calling him washed, then he's not washed. Then it's a perfectly reasonable expectation or a perfectly reasonable mindset to have about, working. And he's still pretty young. 40 is still very, very young, considering everyone who's wrestled in their middle age and in senior age. Diba? So if he says he's better now than he was before, who are we to say that he's not? Diba? He knows his body best. He knows his work best.
Yeah, and if you read the article, meron din siyang quotes na may hinanakit din siya from his time in WWE na he felt na he wasn't able to do things that he wanted to do. He felt na meron lang ding hangganan yung career niya doon, which is why before his contract even expired, according to the article, he was already weighing his options and he was already looking at AEW as the next place, the next chapter for his career, potentially the last 10 years of it.
Yeah, Ciampa wasn't made in WWE, guys. For all the people who only watch WWE, who caught him in the company, wasn't made there. I was following his career before WWE. He wasn't even supposed to be signed. He and Gargano were brought in as extras from Ring of Honor and Evolve. So it's only natural. It's only controversial if you've only ever seen Ciampa in WWE.
Mm-mm. On that note, how about that Ricochet crash out on Twitter? That was pretty odd. I did not see that coming.
No, naman. I mean,
he was crashing out against Jimmy Corderas, the former ref.
It wasn't against Jimmy Corderas. It was crashing out in general. Like Ricochet likes to talk shit about WWE. Kasi, I don't know if Trevor Mann, the man himself, or the Ricochet character is really bitter about being used in WWE. I'm sure there is real life sentiments being based there. But Ricochet has complained over and over, and that's what makes him a heel. That's what makes him such an effective heel. That every time he opens his mouth about his career, people get triggered and like to talk shit his way. Diba? So basically, Ricochet was saying that he was also ruined a little bit in WWE to the point where he was feeling kind of depressed. He doesn't say depressed, but it's essentially depression there. He was dreading to go to work. He was given the Intercontinental Championship despite not wanting it because they wanted to get him to stay. They thought it was a way for him to stay. He wanted his release, but he didn't get his release, so they let his contract run out. So he was also saying that guys like Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn were ruined by the WWE machine, whether it was by Vince McMahon himself or by Triple H, because they were never able to reach the heights that they reached in their independent wrestling careers, or the rest of their careers outside WWE. And honestly, he has a point. He wasn't speaking any falsehoods. He wasn't saying anything wrong. It only sounds wrong if you watch only WWE and you cape for WWE and you think they can do no wrong. But for a lot of us who follow them outside and know the reasons why they were signed by Triple H to begin with, bakit sila kinuha, bakit sila recruit by by guys like William Regal and Triple H who were watching the independents, you know that there is a wholly different expectation once you get plucked from the quote unquote minor leagues, from the world outside. So if you don't get that same treatment, if you don't achieve those same heights, it can be jarring. Some people are able to make peace with it. Like some people are okay with WWE money that comes with not being the top star, not being the top guy as you were in the independents. Like Matt Cardona, diba? Like Matt Cardona's back because he wanted to be back, diba? But at the same time, if you care about how you play the game and how you're used in the game by your coach, then sometimes it doesn't matter how much money you're getting. It matters how you're being used. And hinanakit ni Ricochet. Maybe the only thing that was wrong was how he was speaking for guys like Balor and Nakamura, because we don't ever know what they actually feel about it. But I'm sure Jasper here can attest to how Finn Balor isn't the guy that he was even in NXT, diba? So yeah, it makes sense. It does. There is an argument to be made about how they are shells of themselves, shells of their former selves in the independents. But I also feel that it's a case-to-case basis. Like Shepard, there is no one monolithic way for former indie stars to feel about it. Like sometimes you just want the steady money, diba? Never mind being used consistently on the show. As long as you are able to provide a comfortable life for yourself and for your family. Sometimes that's good enough. Obviously, the Ricochet character, at least, doesn't have those same priorities. Kaya he's able to say all of that. Doesn't mean he's right, but also doesn't mean he's wrong. And I like that. It's funny, I guess, how a lot of WWE fans tend to get triggered by the insinuations that some people don't feel happy or obligated to be grateful to WWE for being given a job,
Yeah, I guess I'll just double down on what you said na iba-ibang tao, iba-ibang priority para sa iba-ibang tao, di ba? Like it depends on what means the most to you. Like if you have a lot of bills that you have to pay for, di ba? And you've got the steady gig, but it doesn't mean you're going to be world champion, then I guess your aspirations of being a world champion will have to take a back seat, diba?
Yeah. But again, I'm also saying that Ricochet isn't wrong, even if he's only saying this in character. Like, if
those are valid human feelings.
If the character is self-mark, yung bet on yourself and all that, if you you can be a top guy, then by all means. Ricochet definitely has the talent to back it up. Like there is a reason why he was signed to WWE. There was a reason why he was a big deal as a junior heavyweight in New Japan. There is a reason why he gained independent notoriety in the mid 2010s. Like he did back it up, and people are only trying to invalidate that because they only know of him and his booking in WWE as a mid-carder. So, yun lang naman yung yun lang naman yung hinanakit niya. So, a lot of ball knowledge is required to understand all the nuances of the Ricochet situation and the situation surrounding the former NJPW stars and Ring of Honor stars.
Yun lang. Wag lang siya magsalita for other people kasi di naman natin alam lahat, diba?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about Ciampa again, this time inside the ring, because now he is doing an open challenge now that he is the TNT champion.
Yeah. Good on him. We talked about that. I don't like them now how it's become a crutch for mid-card championships. Like WWE is doing it now, but they did it first. But I also don't like how United States champion is kind of devolved into giving out open challenges. Parang it's nice to get a good match out of the champion every week and the really stacked mid card every week, but it's also if you don't watch it, if you don't watch what you're doing there, it's also a cheat code a lazy cheat code even to just fill in the card every week. You're doing it in the US Championship scene. You're also doing it in the TNT Championship scene. Buti na lang, for Mark Briscoe, there was Kyle Fletcher, and there was at least a story being constructed there between Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher. Now Ciampa's added to that. I just don't like the device being overused right now across both companies.
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing it on the other side. Kasi nga, nasanay na rin tayo for the last half year, diba, na yung United States Championship is being defended in an open challenge. So, I don't know. I'm napapaisip din ako na kailan kaya titigil yung open challenge show.
Yeah.
Maybe if a heel wins the US Championship.
Yeah. On that note, Albert says on YouTube that it doesn't work for him, yung kay Ciampa, because Ciampa came in looking like a heel. Because you don't really hear the nickname Psycho Killer and think of a good guy. So
that's also true.
That is also interesting. Although
Unless
I get it.
pumapatay siya ng psycho.
I suppose. Are you a psycho who is a killer, or are you a killer of psychos? The Canadian destroyer conundrum. So, yun. I will see. I guess we'll see. We'll see what he really is. Maybe at this point they want to keep Kyle Fletcher as the heel here. But yeah, I just want to see it change. Like, let's not overuse a trope, even though we get great matches every week.
How about Brody King squashing MJF in 77 seconds? And that's how they get to the World Championship match at Grand Slam Australia.
Let it be said that MJF is super unselfish for allowing that. Like, that kind of stuff makes you the butt of jokes from people who don't know any better. And he did it for Brody King. Like, that is the ultimate mark of acceptance, appreciation, acknowledgement for Brody King and how over he's become for whatever reason, like whether you like him for his anti-ice stance or whether you like him for his work. He's a made man now. I said MJF laid down for him in 77 seconds. Like, never mind that Hangman was there to distract MJF. The fact that he was still squashed was a huge deal.
Oh, ano pa siya? Na-choke pa siya, diba? Yung the Dragon Lee spot or the Darby Allin spot.
Yeah, it's a Darby Allin spot. Let's not fan the flames of that and let the WWE fans think that Gunther did it first.
Sure. So yeah, so MJF allowed himself to be Darby Allin and then to fall down outside, tapos sa cannonball siya, and then Dr. Bomb ba yung tawag sa finisher ni Brody?
Gonzo Bomb. The
Gonzo Bomb. There.
So, if you guys don't already know, if you don't follow the podcast a lot, I love squashes. And in a main event, in a big high stakes match, this was the best squash of all. Of recent memory.
It's pretty fun. Also because it felt like the show was shorter.
Although it was pretty much overtime at that point.
Also true. They also settled yung number 1 contenders match at Grand Slam Australia when they had Andrade and Hangman Adam Page win their respective matches. So Hangman advances, Andre El Idolo advances. So
yeah, the World Championship scene is more stacked than ever. I think it's a nice contrast to what WWE is doing. Na iilan lang din yung nasa top title picture. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll break down the highlights from Raw and NXT, and there's a lot to talk about on the WWE side of things.
I'm the topic. They told
Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Oh boy, what a promo battle to close out Monday Night Raw. That was a battle of pipe bombs. Who won that one for you?
Roman did. A lot of people will choose CM Punk's side to say they're tired of Roman Reigns and his long title reign and his insistence on becoming or insistence on being back in the championship scene. But I think he sealed the deal. Like, again, he brought the cinema, and in one segment, he was able to justify why why they made him win the Royal Rumble. And why they had him choose CM Punk, diba? Like, syempre, there are some full circle throwbacks, callbacks to from the fucking Art of Wrestling podcast, even from CM Punk's walkout, from CM Punk bringing the Shield to WWE. There's all of that for the lore fiends, diba? For the people who love their history, but I think for the most part, the reason why I feel he won the promo battle was because he delivered a really, really good promo. Like, this was the guy a decade ago was tripping over suffering succotash. And I don't know if it was the Hollywood training. I don't know if he's taking acting lessons or whatever. Pero ang solid eh. Parang ang dire-diretso yung ano niya, yung delivery niya. He didn't trip up once. You can hear Punk trip up every now and then because he's doing it extemporaneously. But when Roman is locked into what he's saying, whatever he's saying, he is locked in. And he is when he does that, he's one of the most vicious guys you can come toe-to-toe on the mic with. Diba?
Feeling ko yung confidence din kasi. Like when he was doing the suffering succotash stuff, you can tell na he was also shaken by yung rejection ng fans, diba? Back in 2014, 2015. But Tribal Chief Roman, one, is universally loved. Two, has such big dick energy na it's really hard to topple him down in a war of words.
Yeah, not just that. He's already perfected. He's mastered the way the Tribal Chief would talk. Diba? How he would swing that said big dick around, diba? So, really love that. Punk kasi is just Punk. He's Punk. You know what to expect from CM Punk.
Right.
You know to expect that he will body or do his best to body his opponent. But Roman did it so decisively and justified yung character and yung decision niya, yung decision ng character to choose CM Punk and to really establish how much he hates the guy despite being Zebros, despite being teammates last year. Diba? He nailed it. He sold WrestleMania in one segment, the main event in one segment.
Ang dami niya sinabi na sobrang nag-stand out. Like for one, sabi niya, who do you think they had to ask para ma-approve yung pagbalik mo rito?
Yeah.
They went to me, diba? So
Exactly.
that was savage. Yung sinabi niya na, you made my life harder than it had to be. Diba? That was also, like you could tell na there was a degree of truth to that. Diba? However true, we'll never know. But it clearly referenced yung Art of Wrestling podcast and how it affected Roman, diba? Because he became a meme.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yung make Roman look strong. Yeah. So, ang dami niyang sinabi na sobrang solid. I don't know if you guys can could catch yung off the air stuff if it's like uploaded on YouTube or whatever.
I don't know.
Kita kasi namin sa feed namin. And then kasi when CM Punk left the ring, sabi niya, "Oh, he's not even the best Samoan Joe I've faced." Parang ganon. So that was funny, but it wasn't on TV. So That doesn't count for whatever it's worth. But yeah, that promo exchange from Roman and Punk is an early promo of the year contender for me.
Yeah, I agree. We might as well start a list like Emil does.
Hindi, sinimulan ko na sa podcast.
Right. Oh yeah, right.
It's there. So yeah, one last note here. What do you think about the fact that all three members of the Shield have had vitriolic feuds with CM Punk?
I think they didn't intend to do that. Like, nagkataon lang. Like, syempre, AEW wasn't in on this whole thing, diba, right? AEW was doing its own thing. Moxley was doing his own thing. Doesn't care about that kind of lore. It's a nice coincidence. I don't think they intended to do that with Roman, but I'm sure they leaned into it deliberately once they had their WrestleMania feud made up. It's great. It's great storytelling. Sometimes you luck into your long-term storytelling. You don't really set out to connect those threads unless you're really meticulous and really locked in writer. But I don't think they did that. I think it came to them. It came to their laps.
Yun. I loved it. I love how Roman said, "I hate you. I've always hated you." Sakto lang yung degree to which he used the word hate.
My favorite part was how he explained yung alliance last year. He said that he was almost brainwashed by Punk, which is hilarious.
Yeah, you brainwashed my cousins. You brainwashed Sammy.
I like it when they explain because of the weird character decisions that in the moment don't make sense, but in hindsight they find a way to make it make sense.
Right. On a related note, Finn isn't done with Punk. There was a vignette where Finn Balor said na yun nga, may intentions pa rin siya to go after the World Heavyweight Championship. And then while Roman was standing in the ring, CM Punk looked the camera straight and called out Finn Balor, which also made for a nice little meme.
They're doing a lot of work there. Jasper, what do you feel? What do you feel about that?
Yeah, for those who don't know, si Jasper yung ating resident Finn Balor fan.
Yeah, mega fan. I guess we'll deal with that come Elimination Chamber, but I don't know. Is there a chance for them to make it a triple threat? Will they do a WrestleMania 20 with this? Because I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck not?
Nakakatawa lang talaga. Natawa ko sa sting face ni Roman.
Tsaka Balor has won over Roman for defeating the Demon.
That's right. Okay, on to the women's side. So, some people were calling for a Women's World Championship title change nung Philly street fight, but that didn't happen. In fact, Stephanie Vaquer retained against Raquel Rodriguez, and then after the match, Liv Morgan attacked Stephanie and raised the championship. Perhaps teasing na yun yung pipiliin niya for WrestleMania 42.
Yeah, I think this might be the WrestleMania 20 main event. It's Liv versus Raquel versus Stephanie.
So Raquel's in the Benoit role.
Yeah. Or yeah, true.
Tapos HBK si Stephanie, and then Triple H si Liv. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that makes Raquel the Batista though.
Because Liv is turning on her.
Right.
Diba? Liv kind of played her. Liv eliminated her from the Rumble. Liv was trying to little sis her. Diba? Nung segment na yun.
Yeah.
And then, wala, talo siya. I think it's going to lead to Liv turning on Raquel. It also could lead, it's Triple H. Triple H will recycle his stories. So, malay mo. It's going to be Liv and Roxanne turning on Raquel.
Sticking in the women's division, another tag team has joined the fray. The Bella Twins have said that they want to go after the women's tag team championship. So I guess Brie Bella is staying for good, or at least for the considerable future.
Yeah, I just hope that they're being coached by Brian.
They are. May report na lumabas today that Brian has been working with them.
I would like that to see. I would like that to make their game better. Yeah.
Yeah. Medyo I guess malakas yung response kay Brie in Saudi, but in Philly not as much. I don't know why.
Yeah, Brie wasn't really the most popular of the two. Like both are not as popular or as they are with the Total Divas fans or Total Bellas fans. But of the two of them, Brie is not the most beloved Bella. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
They have to earn their way back, I feel.
Eto, people are angry on the internet over the War Raiders getting squashed by Oba Femi in his Monday Night Raw debut.
Yeah, man.
Why are people mad?
Kasi it was a guy squashing a tag team. Diba? People hate squashes. It should be said, people do not like squashes. They think that they are being robbed of some sort of good match when somebody gets squashed. But squashes, again, if you don't listen to this, if you don't listen to us all the time, squashes serve a very, very important narrative purpose, and that is to establish the dominance of the squasher. And the fact that the squasher squashed two big dudes, it wasn't even like a cruiserweight tag team or anything. Okay, Albert is asking why the War Raiders when the New Day is right there. I wouldn't want them to squash the New Day. The War Raiders are much more expendable in this role.
Di lang yun. It is February.
It is February. It's Black History Month. We love to see an African man, a big African man, destroy two big white dudes. So we also love that. So yeah, no, okay. The reason why it's the War Raiders is because the New Day are two regular sized dudes, and Xavier is on the smaller side. Oba Femi destroying two big guys makes him look really, really unstoppable. Diba? Two heavyweights, and one of them is a super heavyweight in Ivar. Diba? Couldn't stop Oba Femi. That is like the most effective cosign if you are willing to believe in it. Diba?
Yeah, going back to some point mo about squashes, you're right, but they do serve a story point or a story or a plot device. Not just yung dominance ng squasher, sometimes it also adds a layer to an existing character. Like when Becky came back to SummerSlam 2021 and she squashed Bianca. People were mad about that as well, pero that was the birth of Big Time Bex. Diba? It showed na she could be underhanded. Everyone was like, oh, yay, we love Becky, she's back. Yun pala, kupal siya and will cut any corner in order to surprise you and steal a championship. So squashes do tell stories as well. It's really it's really some fans who just fail to find the story or find the narrative that's actually being told in front of them.
Exactly. You get it.
All right. Last bit here from Monday Night Raw. Who is the babyface between the two El Grande Americanos? What do you think?
Clearly, it's Uno now. Kasi,
si original.
Yeah, it's Uno. He was the conquering hero because he was a white American.
Here's my question. Why is it na yung babyface is the guy who sought to mock Lucha Libre and really took a dump on it as opposed to the other guy who really doubled down on Lucha Libre and the love and celebration of the culture?
Feeling ko kasalanan to ni Road Dogg eh. Kaya nagkagulo sila. Like, you're right. Dos or Ludwig Kaiser is really appreciated in Mexico, but who cares? Like, I don't know. People also
like Dos is the guy who speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Dos is the guy who actually calls the Mexicans mi gente.
Diba? So, but people love Chad Gable, and rightfully so. They should love Chad Gable, but it also messes with the dynamic of who should be the babyface here. But it's all messed up. But I feel like it's not above the direction of the writers of the storytellers here. Like, if you just acknowledge the fact that accidentally Dos was the guy who was respectful of Lucha Libre, then maybe your point is you really try to make a mockery out of Lucha Libre.
I guess mas upset ako sa fans kasi parang, wait lang, why are you cheering the first guy when that guy was disrespecting Lucha Libre and, the second guy was actually, paying tribute, paying homage to it all the way?
Yeah, answering Strongman 2426 here on YouTube, who has Luka Doncic as his profile picture. Is Ludwig face to AAA? Is Dos face to AAA? Yes,
very much.
I'm begging you to watch the weekly AAA shows.
Sobra. Siya yung biggest baby face dun, Gagi.
Yeah. Like, they are singing to him. They love him over there. Syempre, different people, different crowds. But still, the fact that, you can't, I guess they are, but you can't disregard what's happening on the other side of your programming. Especially if you're sending them there to do stuff. Unless it is undisputable fact that what happens in AAA is a completely separate universe from what happens in WWE. So I guess
it's not.
WWE...
To clarify, it's not. Because we reference AAA programming now on main roster commentary.
So why is it different?
That's not something I can answer.
Yeah.
What I will tell Luka Doncic profile guy and everyone else is that Dos, El Grande Americano Dos, is so over as a babyface there. He got a rub from Rey Mysterio 2 weeks ago in a main event segment. Rey Mysterio came out to save him from El Ojo, which is the top heel faction in AAA. Yeah. And they had a hero moment where they stood side by side. That is as babyface gets.
El Grande Americano Dos is such a babyface na ginawa niya. Yung reporter ng AAA.
Si Pinpon Girl, yeah, Andrea Bazarte.
That's major Riz, man.
Yeah, You guys should take time out to watch at least El Grande Americano matches and segments in AAA. It is a trip. It is a trip. All right, let's go to NXT. We've got a new NXT champion, and his name is Joe Hendry. Hey. So he went against all odds and conquered yung kanyang pain after having been attacked by the Vanity Project and outlasted everybody in the ladder match to take home the championship.
Congrats to him. I guess he's not going to the main roster despite appearances on SmackDown late last year. But yeah, they do need him a lot there. They did kind of fleece NXT from its stars. They need Ricky Saints. They need Joe Hendry.
Ethan Page.
They really do need those guys over there.
Mm. Yeah, someone has to hold down the fort. Tsaka it's been a while since we had a pure babyface NXT champion.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say na Ricky Saints is a pure babyface just because yung angas niya is ano pa rin eh. Like, may pagka-edgy pa rin eh. Hindi, he was a face as a champion.
Sure, okay, sure.
Pero hindi siya yung parang sasabihin mong white meat babyface like Joe Hendry is.
Okay.
Over on the women's division, Sol Ruca and Zarya just can't get out of their own way. They lost against the Elegance brand for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship. And I know you've theorized on the pod before, Ro, na Sol and Zarya are probably going to end up turning heel together. Pero at this point, they're still at each other's throats.
I think it's a red herring. I still think it's a red herring. Like,
magnunuti sila?
There is no way you can make both so unlikable that you expect... Okay, I get... that more people are going to cheer Sol Ruca kasi she's a great high flyer. She's a great acrobatic wrestler. But those two are so unlikable as characters. I know.
With friends like them, who needs enemies?
Like I know the default is what's probably going to happen is Zarya turns heel because Sol is so likable as a wrestler. But in a vacuum, the two of them are so insufferable to each other that they should be turning heel together.
Are you saying that their relationship is
toxic?
Oh.
So yeah, on a related note, Zaruka is going to be in a tag team match next week against the Ren QCC, Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray. And whoever scores the winning fall will become the #1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship because they're all trying to claim that
role.Yeah, this is vile. This is evil work. Grabe.
I actually like this. It's pretty fun. I can't wait to call this match.
I don't think Ren QCC's relationship is strained at all. But
no, it's not. No,
it's not. So it's obviously a way to fuck up Zaruka.
Yeah, get them to fight mid-match. Oh. Yeah, it's diabolical. And that idea, by the way, came from the new interim general manager of NXT. Friend of the podcast, Robert Stone.
Hey, almost podcast guest.
Oh.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I don't think he's just going to be interim. Diba? He's not wrestling anymore anyway. At this point.
He does appear in TNA, diba? Parang manager siya ni Nat.
Oh, manager pa rin siya. Oh, so he's not really a wrestler role.
Mm.
So I think he's going to be doing this for a long time now.
Yeah.
Going to be doing this for I don't think there's a rush. Shawn Michaels isn't going to be an on-screen authority figure.
Like the way William Regal was, diba?
They come to him to make matches, to propose matches, or to acknowledge him as a figurehead ng brand, ng developmental. But the reason, I mean, there is an on-screen authority figure for these things.
Yeah, parang lumalabas is that Shawn Michaels is literally the Triple H of NXT. Sila yung parang pinaka-big boss na, and then the general manager or whatever authority figure sumasagot sa kanila.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for Robert Stone. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think that he would still be in WWE or NXT at this point. So the fact that he's still here, he's got a couple of steady gigs between Evolve being a color commentator there and then interim GM sa NXT. I'm really happy to see that he's still around.
Yeah, make your money.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my dream job now. Be an authority figure.
Sabi ko nga sa'yo, diba? I've been saying this for years. The best jobs in wrestling are the ones where you still get paid, but you don't have to take a bump.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, that's going to do it for a lot of the wrestling talk. Let's get to some plugs as we begin to wind down here. Ro, let's start with DexCon Fast Break, which is 1 week from Sunday.
1 week from Sunday. I believe general admission tickets are now available DexCon at helixplay.ph. Tapos, if you have a Fast Break ticket, you get a huge or substantial discount on tickets for WrestleStorm 3 happening next month. So first time in DexCon history, I believe. There is a back-to-back. There are 2 back-to-back shows in succeeding months. So go check that out. Next month we'll have Shinya Aoki and I forgot who else is coming.
Well, may mga guests na hindi pa na-announce.
Sorry. Yun. So check that out.
Please. How about your new podcast about Magic the Gathering?
Yeah. Magic the Gathering fans, if you're listening to this, go over to our YouTube at Bolas Club PH. BOLASCLUBPH. It is also a Bullet Club variant. I'm afraid to admit. But we're talking about new cards, we're talking about new sets, we're talking about Commander. So if you didn't know that you wanted a Magic the Gathering podcast, here it is. I am co-hosting it with 2 of my new friends, so go check that out on Spotify and YouTube.
For me naman, new episode of NBTC Court Report drops this week on the NBTC Philippines Facebook page. Go check it out. This week's guest is Coach Wilson Ang, who he is one of the coaches at North Luzon regional qualifiers. So we're actually going through yung regional qualifying tournaments na sa NBTC. So during the show, I also give you yung mga updated scores and tell you who's qualified for Madness in MOA, which is the WrestleMania equivalent of NBTC happening on the last week of March. Right before Holy Week, actually. So go check that out. Friday at 7 p.m. on the NBTC Philippines Facebook page. For all the other stuff going on here on the pod, hit us up at Wrestling Podcast or at Wrestling2X Pod, or you can hit us up individually. It is at Roeswar, at Chino Supersized, at EML_Meister, and at _Stancy. Make sure to, if you get to interact with Emil Nate on social media, 1, send him some good vibes, and 2, remind him that he hasn't sent his Kit Wilson entry in, therefore he is
toxic!
So remind him to get his Kit Wilson dance in. Baka one day, paunlakan niya tayo. All right? We'll catch you next Monday for another live stream. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. For Romoran, I'm Stan C, reminding everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, and do not be
toxic!
Wrestling Podcast out.
Peace.